Hello, my name is Martha Strouth and I'm an advisor for Veterans Upward Bound here at Southwest Virginia Community College. This presentation is a step-by-step guide to completing the FAFSA online. So what is FAFSA? It's the free application for federal student aid. This application has to be completed if you want to be considered for federal grants, student loans, or work-study positions. Many scholarships will require the FAFSA to be completed as well. Before beginning the FAFSA, you need certain information readily available. You need a PIN number, which I'll discuss in a moment. You need your current tax return. If you're classified as a dependent student, then you'll need your parents' tax return as well. You need your driver's license number if you have one, the balances of any savings or checking accounts you have, and the amounts of any untaxed income. There is a FAFSA worksheet available on the FAFSA website if you want to complete it beforehand, but that's purely optional. Let's talk about your PIN. PIN is your own 4-digit personal identification number. You'll want to keep this number like you would your Social Security number, so don't tell anyone what it is. The reason you need it is it's an electronic signature to sign your FAFSA. So how do you get one? You have to go to the PIN website, www.pin.ed.gov. Once you get there, you have several options. If you have never had a PIN before, then you need to apply for a PIN. If you have a PIN but don't remember what the number is, then you can click on Request a Duplicate PIN and you can choose to display it immediately. My advice is to choose to request a duplicate PIN first, whether you think you have one or not. Several people have simply forgotten that they have one. I have two special notes to address. One, don't change your PIN number right before completing the FAFSA because it will delay your being able to sign it and hence delaying your application. And two, if you are found to be a dependent student, then your parents will need a PIN as well. Let's get started. You need to go to the FAFSA website, www.fafsa.gov. Once there, click on Start a New FAFSA. You'll also see a login button to the right. This is for returning users, so if you completed the FAFSA online last year, or if you've already started the process for this year, you can log back in through the login button. As you will see in a minute, this website gives you the opportunity to save your application so it can be completed at a later date. You will first be asked to enter your first and last name, Social Security number, and date of birth. Be sure all information is entered correctly. The system will match up the name you give with the name on the Social Security card. So if you have a suffix in your name, such as junior, senior, the second, the third, etc., you will need to space after your last name and key in the suffix exactly the way it appears on your Social Security card. At the bottom of each screen, you will need to click Next to continue. You'll then be asked to create a password. This is so you can log back in if you don't finish the application in one sitting. Once you've created it, you will click Next, which will bring you to the introduction page. This page just gives you access to additional information regarding completing the FAFSA. You can browse through these and click on them if you have additional questions. We click Next again to continue. Here's where we really start getting into the meat of the FAFSA. The first section is to gather student demographic information, which is required to determine eligibility. Basically, you're filling in personal information. Your name, Social Security number, and date of birth should already be in there. Continue through the form and answer questions accurately. This section will also include questions on citizenship because federal student aid is only available to U.S. citizens or eligible non-citizens. While we're on this screen, I'd like to draw your attention to some of the options available. First, I want you to note the box to the right. This is the Help and Hints area. Through the application, it will provide you with help in filling in the blanks. This is especially helpful during the financial section. So if you're confused about what a question is asking, then refer to the Help and Hints box for clarification. Second, at the bottom of the screen, this is where you can save the data you've entered. Clear all data out, view the summary, look for extra help, and exit the application. Just remember or be sure before you exit that you save data you've entered. Lastly, I want to draw your attention to the block that will be on the top of the screen These are tabs for each section you will be completing. There's student demographics, which we're going through now, school selection, dependency status, parent demographics if that information is needed, financial information, sign and submit, and your confirmation after submitting. You can flip from tab to tab as needed. Now we're looking at citizenship and eligibility, which is part of the demographics section. As I said before, U.S. citizens or eligible non-citizens can get federal financial aid. So the answers to these questions will determine eligibility. I'd like to make special note on this page regarding the work study. You are asked if you're interested in being considered for work study, and some of you may not know what that is. The federal work study program provides jobs for undergraduate and graduate students with financial need. This allows them to earn money to help pay educational expenses. These positions are on the campus you're attending school at. Now, it's not a guarantee that you will be offered a position. This will depend on the availability of positions on campus as well as the number of students eligible for work study. You may have to submit a resume and/or go through an interview process in order to get a position. Moving on to the next screen, you will be asked your high school. The easiest way I have found to do this is to key in your city and state where the high school is located and click confirm. This will bring up the high schools in that city. Once you located yours, you will click the select button next to the school name and click next. Now you're asked what college you plan to attend. The reason FAFSA needs this information is because it needs to know which school to send the processed application to. If you have not decided what college to attend, you can enter up to 10 schools that you're applying to. All the colleges you list will get your information. Again, the easiest way I have found to search for school codes is to enter the city and state and click search. Once it brings up the schools in that city, you can click the checkbox next to the name of the school you're planning to attend, and remember to click add. The next screen will ask you what your housing plan is. For your convenience, I have listed 4 frequently used school codes for the Southwest Virginia area. You can use these by entering the code in the federal school code box and clicking search. Now we look at dependency status. These questions are used to determine whether you are a dependent or independent student. If you answer no to these questions right here, then you are considered a dependent student even if you do not live with your parents. If you are classified as a dependent student and you feel you should be classified as independent, then you can seek a professional judgment, which is an appeal. The biggest difference in being dependent versus independent is your parents' income is included for dependent students, which can severely change your eligibility. Independent students have the option to answer questions regarding their parents. However, dependent students have no choice. They have to answer the questions. If you're a dependent student, then you will go through the same demographic questions and provide the same financial information on your parents. Furthermore, as I discussed earlier in the PIN slide, the parents must have a PIN number to serve as an electronic signature. Here's where your tax return comes into play. All students must provide their financial information. This helps to determine the EFC, which is the expected family contribution. Once all information is submitted, the system has a specific formula to calculate the EFC. If the student and/or family is found to have discretionary income, then only a portion of that income is included in calculating the EFC. Now, linking to the IRS is the easiest way to submit your financial information. To do this, you must have your PIN number, which you'll enter here and click Link to IRS. Linking to the IRS requires you to leave the current website, so a box will pop up asking you if it's okay, and it is. Your application on the FAFSA website will be saved while you're directed to the IRS website. Linking to the IRS data will be much easier than entering the data manually. It's highly important that you use the name and address that is on your tax return. Even if you use a P.O. box for your mailing address, put it in the street address field. Don't add periods or spell out abbreviations if it's not on your tax return. Once complete, click Submit. You will be asked to review and confirm the information that was imported from the IRS. If you can't link to the IRS for whatever reason, then you will need to enter the data from your tax return manually. The FAFSA website tries to make this as easy as possible by providing specific information in the Help and Hints box to the right. The Help and Hints will guide you on what numbers to key in based on your tax return that you completed, whether it's a 1040, 1040A, 1040EZ, etc. For example, if you filed a 1040 form, then the answer for the adjusted gross income will be found on line 37 of your tax return. Each line on your tax return is numbered, so if you filed a tax return using the form 1040A instead, then your adjusted gross income will be found on line 21. I want to restate this because it's important. Make sure you're clicked into the box referring to the question you're confused about. Then refer to the Help and Hints box on the right, and it will tell you which amount to choose from on your tax return. Now, regarding parent financial information, if you're submitting your parents' financial information, whether it's by choice or you're a dependent, you can link to the IRS data for them as well, or you can enter the data in manually. After completing the financial information section, all you have to do is sign and submit your application. First, double check all information for accuracy. When it asks you if you are the preparer, it's asking you if you prepared or completed the FAFSA yourself or if someone completed it for you. Then sign the application using your PIN number. You can type it in here and click sign. You will also need to review the terms of agreement and statement in the block and click agree if you agree. Once you've done all this, click Submit My FAFSA Now. Students who are dependent will have to have their parents electronically sign using their PIN number. After submitting the application, you will receive a confirmation page. This page is important and you need to print it for your records and hold on to it. If you provide an email at the beginning, then it will be emailed to you as well. Once submitted, FAFSA.gov will automatically analyze your application, and once processed will email you the Student Aid Report or SAR and send a copy to all the schools on your list. You can check your application status by logging into FAFSA.gov, but it usually takes 3 to 5 days processing. Once you've received your SAR, review it for accuracy. Your EFC will be on your SAR. Once the school receives your SAR, they will contact you if they need additional information. The school's financial aid office will also notify you of your aid package or award letter. The money is sent directly to the school, and they will automatically put it towards your tuition, fees, room and board, and books. Any money left over will be issued to you through the school after a certain date. Each school has their own time frame for when the money will be released. Special circumstances. If you find something incorrect on your SAR, or if you have to do a correction to your tax return, you'll have to do a correction to your FAFSA. Simply go to the FAFSA.gov and log in. You will see a button to start a correction. Follow the screens to enter updated financial information. Now, if you are declined for financial aid by the school, then you can seek an appeal or a professional judgment based on unusual situations or circumstances that you've experienced. For example, if you lost your job and don't have the income from the previous year, then you can request an appeal through the school's financial aid office. If you have problems or questions, contact the financial aid office for the school you're planning to attend, or you can possibly find answers on the FAFSA.gov website. For our veterans and military personnel, please remember that Veterans Upward Bound exists on the campuses of Southwest Virginia Community College, Virginia Highlands Community College, Wytheville Community College, and Mountain Empire Community College, and we can assist you with your FAFSA as well as provide other services free of charge. Thank you for viewing this presentation, and I hope you found it helpful.